Welcome to Kuma English Listening Hub. In this episode, we will talk about a fun and modern place, the Board Game Cafe. Have you heard of a board game cafe before? It is a special kind of cafe where people go to drink coffee or tea, eat snacks, and play board games together. These cafes are becoming popular in many cities around the world. Today, we will explore how board game cafes work, why people like them, and how they can turn strangers into friends. So, relax, listen carefully, and enjoy this English listening practice. First, let's talk about what a board game cafe is. In a normal cafe, people usually sit, talk, and drink something. Maybe they look at their phones or work on a laptop. In a board game cafe, there are shelves full of games. There can be hundreds of different games. Some games are simple and short. Others are long and more difficult. When you enter a board game cafe, you usually pay a small fee. This fee lets you stay for a few hours and play as many games as you want. You can order drinks like coffee, tea, or juice. Many cafes also serve snacks, sandwiches, or desserts. The special thing is that the focus is on playing games together, not just on drinking or eating. Now, let's talk about the atmosphere, or the feeling, inside a board game cafe. These places are usually warm and friendly. The lighting is often soft, not too bright. The chairs are comfortable. Many cafes use wood tables to make the space feel cozy. You can hear people talking, laughing, and sometimes shouting happily when they win a game. There is usually less phone use because people are busy playing. They look at each other, not at a screen. The staff members are also important. Many of them love board games and know the rules of many games. They often walk around and ask, "Do you need help choosing a game?" Or, "Would you like me to teach you how to play?" Next, let's look at the different kinds of board games you can find in these cafes. There are classic games like chess, checkers, and simple card games. There are party games which are easy to learn and fun in a group. In these games, you might have to draw pictures, explain words, or guess answers. They are great for beginners and for people who do not usually play board games. There are strategy games which can be longer and more complex. In these games, you must think carefully and plan your moves. You might build cities, grow a farm, or explore a map. There are also cooperative games where players are on the same team. In these games, you do not try to beat your friends. Instead, you all work together to win against the game itself. This last type, cooperative games, is especially good for meeting new people. It is easier to talk when everyone has the same goal. Now, you might ask, how do board game cafes help strangers become friends? Let's imagine a situation. You enter a board game cafe alone. Maybe you are new in the city, or your friends are busy. You order a drink and sit at a table. A staff member comes to you and says, "Are you here to play a game?" You say, "Yes, but you are alone." The staff member smiles and says, "No problem. There is a group at that table who needs one more player. Would you like to join them?" You walk over, feeling a little shy. The group smiles and makes space for you. They explain the rules of the game. Soon, you are laughing with them, making jokes, and trying to win together. After one game, someone says, "That was fun. Do you want to play another game?" You say yes. By the end of the evening, you know their names. Maybe you follow each other on social media. You may even meet again to play more games next week. In this way, board game cafes make it easy to meet new people in a relaxed and natural way. Another reason these cafes help people connect is that games are a good topic for conversation. When you play, you must talk. You explain your moves. You ask questions. You react to what other players do. You can say simple things like, "I think that was a smart move. I did not expect that. Can you explain that rule again? Wow, you are really good at this game." These small sentences help start friendly conversations. Later, you can talk about other things too, like work, hobbies, or travel. Let's now think about why board game cafes are good for language learners like you. If you are learning English, board games can be a fun way to practice. Many games use simple English on the cards or on the board. You also need to listen and speak with other players, even if it is just a few words. For example, you might say, "It is your turn now. Can I see the card? I win. I lose. Let's play again." These are short sentences, but you repeat them many times. This helps your speaking become more natural. If you visit an English-speaking country, going to a board game cafe can be a good idea. You can practice English and meet local people at the same time. Now, let's talk about how board game cafes are also good for mental health and wellness. Today, many people feel lonely, even in big cities. They might spend a lot of time on their phones, but not much time in real-life conversation. Board game cafes give people a chance to disconnect from screens and reconnect with other humans. When you play a game, your mind focuses on the present moment. You think about your next move, not about your worries. You also laugh and share feelings with others. Winning and losing are not very serious, but they make the game exciting. Some people say that going to a board game cafe after work helps them relax and feel less stressed. Now, let's explore a typical visit to a board game cafe, step by step. Imagine you are planning to go this weekend. First, you check the opening hours on the internet. Some cafes are very popular, so you might need a reservation. You arrive and go to the front desk. The staff welcomes you and explains the rules, like how long you can stay and how to choose games. Then, you find a table. Maybe you are with friends, or maybe you are alone and join another group. You order drinks and snacks. Many cafes offer simple food that is easy to eat while playing. Next, you choose a game. The staff might ask, "How many people are playing?" And "What kind of game do you like?" Then they suggest a few good options. They bring the game to your table and teach you how to play. They explain the goal, the basic rules, and how the game ends. You start playing. At first, you might make mistakes, but that is okay. Everyone is there to have fun, not to be perfect. After one game, you can decide to play again or try a new game. At the end, you pay for your time and your food and drinks. Maybe you also write down the names of the games you liked. You leave with a smile, and perhaps with some new friends. Now, let's talk about different types of visitors at board game cafes. Some people are serious board gamers. They know many games and play often. They might come in groups and bring their own games. Some people are casual visitors. They just want a fun evening. They might not remember the game rules after they leave, but they enjoy the time. Some people are families. Parents come with their children. They play simple games that everyone can understand. Some people are students. They come after school or university classes. It is a good way for them to relax and socialize. Because there are many kinds of visitors, the staff must be friendly and patient. They must explain rules clearly at a level that everyone understands. You might be wondering, how do board game cafes make money? They usually have a few main ways. They charge a fee for table time. This is often an hourly fee or a fee for a whole afternoon or evening. They sell drinks and food. Many people order more than one drink when they stay for several hours. Some cafes also sell board games. If you really like a game, you can buy it and take it home. Others organize special events, such as tournaments or themed nights. For example, they might have a beginner night, a family afternoon, or a night for a specific game. These events can bring more customers and create a strong community around the cafe. Speaking of community, this is another important part of board game cafes. Regular visitors start to know each other. They say hello, share game tips, and invite each other to play. Some cafes even have online groups where people can say, "I am going to the cafe on Friday. Who wants to join a game?" This sense of community is very powerful. It can make people feel that they belong to something. Finally, let's think about how you can use the idea of a board game cafe in your own English learning. Here are a few ideas you can try. If there is a board game cafe in your city, visit it with friends who also want to practice English. You can decide to speak only English while you are there. If there is no board game cafe near you, you can create a board game night at home. Ask each person to bring one game. Try to use English rules and English words during the game. Look for simple English board games online. There are many games that do not need very difficult language. Learn some useful English phrases for playing games such as, whose turn is it? Can you explain that rule again? Let's start a new game. Do you want to join us? Good game. Thanks for playing. These phrases can help you feel more confident when you play with English speakers. As we come to the end of this episode, let's review the main points. A board game cafe is a place where people drink, eat, and play board games. The atmosphere is usually warm, friendly, and relaxed. There are many types of games, from simple party games to complex strategy games. These cafes help strangers become friends because games make it easy to talk and share experiences. They are also good places for language learners to practice English in a natural way. Board game cafes can help people feel less lonely, reduce stress, and build a sense of community. If you have a chance, try visiting a board game cafe one day. Maybe you will discover a new hobby, and maybe you will meet new friends. Thank you for listening to Kuma English Listening Hub. If you enjoyed this episode, you can listen again to catch more details or shadow the audio by speaking along with it. Keep practicing your English, and see you next time.